Paris, the world's undisputed fashion capital. But prepare for the plot twist. French haute couture was invented by an Englishman who arrived in 1846, broke, unemployed, and without speaking a word of French. This exhibition at the Petit Palais celebrates this man, Charles Frederick Worth, the revolutionary who transformed fashion from mere clothing into high art and big business, the father of haute couture.
The exhibition features 400 works, including 80 costumes, paintings, graphic arts, furniture and Worth perfumes. This is an absolutely exceptional exhibition with loans from all over the world.
Charles Frederick Worth's rag trade to riches story reads like a fashion fairy tale. To be discovered here and in a new biography by best-selling author Stephen Clark.
So here we see Charles, aged about 32. He's been transformed from this penniless London apprentice, kind of Dickensian figure, into a very dapper, fashionable Parisian businessman. Just launched his own company, and he'll make you the most beautiful dresses you can possibly imagine. It's an incredible transformation.
Born in Lincolnshire in 1825 to a family of modest means, Charles Frederick Worth crossed the Channel at just 21 years old. Starting as a humble clerk at a textile merchant, he would, within just over a decade, launch his own revolutionary fashion house in 1858, dressing royalty and celebrities across Europe and beyond. Charles Frederick Worth, Stephen, sounds like a character out of a novel, this penniless Englishman who came and conquered French fashion. Who was he?
Well, he's an inspiration to all us expats in Paris. That is, a Brit. He turns up, a young man in Paris, recently qualified as a textile salesman. So he spent almost a year learning French and then got himself a job as a textile salesman. And that's when he met a woman who had also been an apprentice textile saleswoman, his future wife, Marie. And together they invented what the industry that we now call haute couture.
In your book, you do focus a lot on his wife, Marie, and what she did, what her role was. She was very important to his success, wasn't she?
Marie Worth was the first ever living fashion model, and she was also the first one doing the catwalk, showing women what dresses looked like as they moved. That was completely revolutionary. When they set up the House of Worth, she was the one going out, knocking on the doors of these very posh ladies and saying, look, I'm wearing one of these dresses. Don't you want to look like me? Or here's a catalogue of some of the designs we have. She was his first saleswoman. Without her, they might not have survived the first year.
Worth didn't just design clothes, he designed the entire modern fashion system.
He invented what haute couture is today. He invented the question of the catwalk with live models. He also invented the question of seasons, of seasonality, by creating collections for different seasons. And he changed the way of doing things. Until then, the dressmaker would go to his client. With Worth, he had a very strong personality. He presented himself as a star and an artist. The clients would come to him, and he would impose his model, his ideas of which dress his client should wear. He also invented not the label as such, but a label as a signature, with a beautiful signature, like a painter signing his own painting.
From day wear to opera coats, tea gowns to ball gowns, Worth is credited with contributing to changing women's silhouettes in the 19th century.
In this room, we showcase 24 hours in the life of a woman, with first a dress that is worn once, the wedding dress, which was one of Worth's specialities. And then we have the day dresses, and then the evening outfits, like the dresses to go out to the opera, to a ball. Worth's style is exuberance, theatre. It's his puffy gowns. They were also very constraining outfits for women at the time.
Despite this, Worth's designs were so sought after that aristocrats and empresses from around the world would wait months for his creations.
We're in a room here dedicated to Worth's great customers, who are American, English, Sicilian. And here, perhaps the most emblematic of Worth's clients, Countess Greffule. And behind me are 4 pieces from the Palais Galliera collections. We've preserved her exceptional wardrobe, made in partnership with the Maison Worth, revealing an extraordinary personality, that of this countess, the Countess Greffule, considered by Marcel Proust to be the most beautiful woman in Paris. And there's no doubt that the reason that women came from all over the world to Worth to have their dresses made is because he spoke English.
Est-ce que la haute couture c'est un peu anglaise alors, à votre avis?
No, haute couture is not English. There's a very important division that takes shape in the 19th century, which is that London is the capital of tailors and the capital of those who establish men's wardrobes with the most creativity. But haute couture and women's wardrobes are created in Paris. And so Charles Frederick Worth came to help build this scene. Paris is the capital of the couture world, of the fashion world. When it comes to what is considered most important in fashion, that is women's fashion.
How French is haute couture, really?
Well, originally, haute couture was British. You know, Charles Frederick Worth kind of invented everything we now think of as haute couture. That is, the designer as the star, the brand on the dress so you can see the brand, and also, especially, this idea that the designer is a genius and you want to know the name of the designer. All that is completely British, really, but invented in France based on French textiles and French know-how of making dresses. That was really important. Paris, at the time, had these fantastic women who could make brilliant dresses and do incredible embroidery, and Charles Frederick Worth really sort of used all the raw materials that Paris gave him.
You had unprecedented access to the family's archives. Tell us about something surprising that you uncovered.
The most brilliant thing that I got was I got to look at this huge catalogue they've got of all the obituaries when Worth died in 1895. I mean, every newspaper in the world talked about him, every local newspaper right across America. He was really one of the most famous men in the world.
Worth died in Paris in 1895, leaving his fashion house to his sons. The Worth dynasty continued for 3 generations until 1952, when his great-grandson, Roger, retired. Charles Frederick Worth transformed fashion from craft to global industry and crowned Paris as the world's fashion capital. The exhibition runs until September, giving you plenty of time to discover the forgotten Englishman who dressed the world.